everyone, it's Kristin Kamato. How are you doing today? Wanted to give you a product share here because it is time for EZ Card Kit release day. This month's theme for August is Lavender Honey. There are wonderful shades of yellow, lavender, and touches of green that I think you are just going to quite enjoy. And as usual, Liz Kamato forgot to take a little viddy about with the sheets prior to cutting them up. Sheesh. Okay, so I can tell you there is a sentiment sheet. As always with the card kit, has some lovely nice ones as well as some fun snarky ones. So perfect for me, perhaps perfect for you. Here's some of that I have left over. That's fun. Here we go. Here's one of the pages in the card kit. This is about all that I have left. I used up the few pages that I printed and just really went to town. This is what I have left. I printed the sentiment sheet, the solid lavender sheet, and then I also printed a light green background that had a white flower print on it, and then one of the main sheets that one would use if you had the Easy Wonder #1 die. Since I do not, I cut it up into interesting different ways, and I hope that you find it very pretty on the cards that I made. But this plain lavender paper, I myself went ahead and printed on shimmer paper. This shimmer paper is from Michaels. It's like 65 pounds, so not something I would use for a card base, but really great layering weight paper. So this way I can still mail my cards without a lot of bulk. If I wasn't printing on this paper, it was a normal white shimmer. It also takes ink that you do with your blending tools just as well as printer ink. So loving that, and this is really all I have left. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. Do I toss it? Do I cut like little hearts out of it? Maybe little florals? Don't know, but for right now, I will be keeping this because I wanted to show you. I did use to cut out a lot of the sentiments. The ultimate sentiments die set from Not Too Shabby that LV Handcrafted created along with this gorgeous card kit. So yippee skippy. I did throw in some of these bees. These are something that I won, in a sense, from a contest with Kingston Crafts back in 2024. Back in April, I think, from when I looked back at my emails. Miss Beth, as you know her, she's the spokesperson for Diamond Press, but did you know she has her own line of goodies? I love her paper. So do check that out. I will link you to her website. Make sure you sign up for her emails. That's how you get notified of such contests. But way back in the day, we got these bees. She had a miscommunication with the factory back then, so she got tons of bees and therefore she spread the love. I got some of that love. And there's acetate bees, and there are, these are the acetate bees, these are the vellum bees. You get a whole bunch in a little pack, probably about 10 to 12 in a pack, and I probably got like 50 packs. So I'm working through them. I've gifted some away, but you know, hey, I liked how they matched this lavender honey set that I'm going to show you here. The acetate ones have this little protective layer on it, so that's kind of fun. But these are brown rather than black, so that is really nice, and I think that's why they paired really well for me using this card kit as just an example of using something that you have in your stash as well as something new like this card kit that you can pair and make some beautiful and stunning cards. Are we ready? Oh, I think so. I believe you probably got a sneak peek of this one yesterday. This is the card of the month for August 2026. I used a sketch from Cards TV with Mary. She has her blog spot, and of course I'll put all that info down below. This is the one I used for card of the month. Whoop, whoop. Here's that beautiful green paper. it kind of has a yellow green. That could be my printer. That could be my choice of paper as well. Since I knew this one was going to be a background layer, I think I just printed it on regular old white cardstock that I get from Hobby Lobby that I do use for my card bases. Now, I did use for the fun hexagon layer that came in that page, that had these fun cake elements. I mean, I have been craving cake for weeks now. That I used my Epson Premium Presentation Matte paper, the one that has a picture of grease on the front, because I wanted those to stand out better. And of course, there's that purple shimmer paper. Whoop, whoop. So, card of the month there. But here we go with some other cards. Card 1. Look at the little bee poking out from the background. I tried to put a bee on most of them if I could in some way, because you're worth it. Why not have a fun, I mean, those look like those fun glorified type milkshakes that you just want to try. I mean, a little bites of honeycomb. I'm sure those are edible flowers. These are some Love from Lizzie strips that I have in my stash. They're kind of this yellowy green. And this yellowy green does not pair well with the Christmas in July cards that I was doing for Kendra's Card Challenge. See, right here, they're kind of this yellowy greeny gold, if you will. It didn't work with the deeper red and green tones of that, but boy, oh boy, let me tell you, they worked really well. See that leaf? That leaf right there gave me inspiration, and I knew that it would pair well, but not detract from it, not too shiny. I thought the gold would probably do that, but this adds that little bit of green because there's just little touches of green throughout. So what a nice complementary color. This was an image on the bottom of the sheet, and I just quickly did a fussy cut around. I did not get into all the details, but I wanted it more than just a plain square. I think it came out pretty good for a quick little fussy cut. And then I think I did go around the edges with like a little tool, just so it wouldn't look too hand cut, maybe a little more die cut. So I like that. That is a very fun image. I know, you're probably thinking, but come on, you're team orange. I know, but it's lavender, so I don't necessarily consider that team purple. Okay, here we go. Big fat circle right in the middle, because who wouldn't want this tart or this pie? It just looks beautiful, and I love it. I love how my printer, let's see, what do I have? I have an Epson EcoTank 3850. So it's a little bit older of a model at this point. I've had it for almost 3 years now, 2.5, I believe. So it's done me a lot of good. I quite love it. It prints out that shimmer paper just beautifully. Again, there's that background layer. Some more Love from Lizzie strips. I did, versus the other card, use a little thicker here, a little thinner here. Either way it works. That's why I love those pinstripe stickers. Thanks, Lizzie, for coming up with those. Because you get multiple sizes on one sheet. And just between those two cards and maybe a little something on another card coming up, that's all I used. That's all I used. Crazy, right? Okay. So I kept this one simple. These were some offcuts. Fun fact. This one right here just only goes to about here on each side because I was running out of strips. But you wouldn't know if I didn't share that secret with you. Oh, and these fun gems that you're probably seeing on the card, I got those from my local resale store a year or two ago. They're like the diamond dots. But it had this fun yellow color. And I kind of like that versus the cream or the whites that I had in my stash. Is it an exact yellow? No, but when you pull them out separately, it coordinates very nicely. So I do like that. Okay, you probably saw this one already hanging out at the bottom of the screen. Look at that cupcake. And I just went to town with my layers. These are the Gina K circle layers. I'm not sure about the white one. It may or may not be. But how she has the stitching on them, I think it really added to this particular card. I love it. I think it came out really well with this one. That's the one that you would use the Easy Wonder #1 die with. Well, since I don't have the die that cuts out that circle most beautifully, I went ahead and dug in my stash, found that Gina K circle, and cut that out. Now, if you look, I'll give you a little sneaky here. Look, you can see that it cut out from the hexagon paper because I didn't quite center my die very well. It got pretty close. But you know what? I think I don't know. In looking at it in person, you don't notice it unless I really pointed it out to you. Now, it got a little tricky here because here's the spot on the paper. Well, that circle was cut right from that spot, but to hide that, I did the double layers, so you almost would never know. And that's how I kind of oomphed up. I could have just cut that square and rounded the corners, but I decided it needed to showcase that purple a little bit. And then there's that purple shimmer paper, another bee. These are two of the bees of the vellum layered up on top of one another. And then I corner rounded on the card base like I did with the first card. So I do really like how those kind of came out and gave it a nice soft edge for these particular cards. Okay, 2 more to go. Here we go, another one. Now, these are 2 sentiments that come in that big 8.5 by 11 sentiment sheet. The circles are at the top. Now, some of my fellow crafty team members here love to use these with one of, like, say, the focal images, and I think it's great. I mean, those do pair together very nicely. But I really liked how these paired well together myself. Life is sweet and beautiful treats. Well, there was no and to bridge kind of the gap between the 2 sentiments. You know how there's a lot of sentiments out there, snowflake kisses and Christmas wishes. You know how they're pairing 2 different things kind of together. So I thought sweet and treats kind of somewhat rhymed. So I dug through my stash in an older Diamond Press alphabet set. There was this ampersand sign. So I cut it out of the purple shimmer paper, but I ink blended around the edges in Wild Wisteria ink from Gina K. Well, I put it on there and it got a little lost. And I thought, well, to kind of blend in with these 2, how I did the offset circles, it needed an offset itself. So I just did that in white. So it's white on purple, purple on white, white on purple. Okay, you see my reasoning here? Now, these were the little strips that were cut off when I went to go use the hexagon background. Okay, remember this one? The one that you would use the EZ Wonder #1 die on? Well, the way Lynn likes to print that out so it's easy to center and guide is she gives you this white line around the outside, and then you would center the die on the inside of the square so it's easy to line up. Well, wonderful. I am always cutting off these strips, and I'm like, there's got to be one of these days something will pop up that I don't mind that white line going through the middle. Well, this was it. This was the day. So I took those strips that I had from 3 of the sides. They're fairly close in width. That's probably user error in cutting on my trimmer, but hey, it worked for this. I think it'll do. So I put the stripes across the background, even used that Wild Wisteria ink to color up the card base a little, deepen just a bit around the outside, and I think it came together quite nicely. I did the double layer of the acetate bees again, and I like how that one came out. Let me know what you think. And for the last and final card, here we go. This time I used, did I say vellum bees, acetate bees? Sheesh, I'm getting myself confused. Last little strip of that honeycomb paper, and this time I finally pulled in a honeycomb shape. Did the purple layer there with the white on white. I don't think I have a hexagon embossing folder in my stash. If I did, then I don't remember, and I didn't get up and look. But I'm thinking if I was to ever recreate this card, because I could, because these are digitals, I can just print out the papers again. Whoop, whoop. I might see if I have a hexagon embossing folder, or I've seen some other lovely teammates, and I'll link you all their channels below too, because you should really check out their cards. They are just beautiful, and I think you're going to get a lot of great examples on how to use this card kit. some of them were using stencils back there, and I was like, oh, stencils. I could have embossed with a stencil to get a light background. That would have been awesome. Or just, you know, use a stencil as it's intended and ink blend right through it. Oh, the ideas, I tell you. Really. There's another Love from Lizzie strip. This is the large one that's in the peel off stickers. So there's a small, medium, and large. So I think I tried to use each and every one in here, and I like how it came out. I really do. Now this one, I will tell you, it's a full strip across the back. But there we go. Now, extra fun little side note story before I let you go. I meant to, because this one goes like this. I cut something out, I gutted from the middle, and I meant to put it on the inside. But when I glued it to the piece of paper that I like to always attach on the inside, because remember this is 80-pound paper, and by the time you add all your card front stuff, the back can get a little flimsy. So my personal preference is to also add a piece of paper, another 80-pound, right on top of it. You do you, right? Well, it didn't work out. I put it on the wrong orientation. So I stuck it in this card. Here we go. I used an older cupcake die from the Stamps of Life. See the bee kind of outline on there with the purple on the inside there. Ooh, but see, I stuck it here. I meant to put it with there, but, you know, and this is just repositionable, because in case I want to stamp a sentiment, I have it repositionable to take out and put inside my stamp positioner. Whoop, whoop. It didn't look right going sideways, right? So I was like, ooh, poo. So I found another card that would go with. It could possibly go with this one as well, because I did those horizontal. So now you know my little almost oopsie. So there we go. Okay, I've got plenty of cards. I hope you got some fun inspiration with using this pretty card kit here for coming up. We're still in summer, baby. But what a fun color palette, right? Yes. And, I mean, I don't know about you, but I am craving some cake. Cupcake, yum. I mean, look at how cute these little cakes are. And yes, I don't mind a tiny cake sometimes. If, you know, because this one could be like a nice larger one. But what if it was the cute little ones like those Petit Fours? Oh, yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy. Right? Right, baby cupcakes. Honey. Oh, so good. Do you have a favorite? You have any questions about the card kit, cards I made, or even just want to say hi? And let me know if you have a favorite. Do let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I'll talk to you on the next one.